You know what I've been thinking about today? It keeps going over and over in my mind, different aspects of this, but this is kind of what I wanted to talk about, because I told you the other day, like, I went to the thrift store and there's some lights flashing somewhere. I keep seeing lights flashing and I don't know where they're coming from. I keep thinking, like, is my ceiling opening up? Is the world opening up now? And there's like, and it kind of flutters. I keep thinking, like, is this like angel wings? Like, it's an energy, you know, but you need to manifest it into a being or whatever. Like angel wings fluttering around, like a excited energy that's all about love and unity. Anyways, I keep seeing it all over the place. It's weird. And it looks like lights flashing, but I can't find it. It's weird. Okay. Anyways, back to my story. So, you know, I went to the thrift store the other day, and I really like this one just because it is, well, because the prices are cheap and it's nice stuff. It's in a nice area, and, you know, they don't put out garbagey stuff. I mean, they don't just, you know, hang out something's all rackety. Stuff is nice. And, but a lot of thrift stores, I mean, if you don't go shopping at a thrift store, because in your head you think like, oh, it's all just junk, it's all used stuff. No, lots of stores give stuff like that they can't sell, you know, it goes on the clearance rack and they're just like, fuck it, give it to the thrift store. So tons of stuff that comes in from stores where you know it's coming from the store, because there'll be like 6 of them and they'll all have the tags still hanging on them. So, and tons of people, you know, they get something or it's given to them and then they never wear it. Like, you get so much new stuff there. And you save so much. You just save the world by not supplying, or not, it's not supplying, what's the word? It is not supporting the slave trade of fashion industry. It's a total slave trade. And anyways, so the thrift store is a great place to go shopping. And it has always been a place where it's a manifestation place for me. Like, I can put in my order and be like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, and go there and they'll just give me those things. It's crazy. So I have these certain socks that I love. I have these certain socks that I love, and I had originally gotten them at a thrift store, and I've never seen them before. I don't know where they're from. You know, I don't know what store to go and buy them at. It doesn't have like a tag or anything, but they're just super, super nice socks. I love these socks. And they're always in the men's department. And I'm assuming they've got to be like sporting goods socks of some sort, probably like hunter socks, or maybe fishermen or something, but they're really like thick like that, and warm. So they're great for winter. They're not good for, you know, you wouldn't wear them under some cute shoes or something. But if your feet are cold, they are super nice. And I think they're like some sort of sporting goods brand or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, I got my first pair at there. And I was like, oh, I love these socks. And so they started bringing me more and more and more of them. And whenever I get those socks, I get so excited. And so I had found some at this thrift store. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, there's more people who have these socks that give them away. Like, what? Like, I will wear socks until they have holes and throw them away. Oh, what the hell? You get these socks and then it's like, oh, I wore them once, so I give them away. It's like weird. So, but, you know, there's people like me. I'll finish the job for you. Don't worry. Give me those socks. I'll wear them until they're done. So, anyways, I found some at this store, and then I found another pair, and I was like, oh, like, so excited. And so the other day I was going around here and I was like, oh man, all of my socks, I love these socks so much, and they all just get holes in the bottom. They just get ruined because I walk around all the time with socks on. And I don't wear my slippers in the house. I have them next to the door so when I go outside, but they've got like a sole, because out here it's super muddy. It's like you're walking around a forest, a sopping wet forest. So, you know, the slippers, they aren't comfortable to walk around in here in. So I wear socks. And this was just, it was so weird because, okay, so I went the other day And there was a couple things, the pajama pants, which, oh my God, put in my order for those. And, you know, they delivered me 2 brand new pairs. Oh my gosh, I love these pajama pants, these big old men's one. They are like flannel or something. It's super warm, like having a little blanket on. It's kind of like wearing a skirt, only it's got a split, so it has legs in it, but it's like the size of a skirt, you know? They're super comfortable and warm, cozy for winter lounging. So anyways, I was back there, and then that's close to the sock thing. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and check on the socks. You never know. So when I went back, there was 5 pairs just sitting there like they're waiting for me. It's just like, oh my gosh. I was, and it was somebody who drew, this happens all the time. Something will draw my attention. This is the same way they showed me the overalls when I kept looking for overalls. And I was like, that day I was going around from aisle to aisle looking and looking. And then I'm standing there looking at something else, and this lady pulls up the overalls and shows her friend, oh, look at these. Aren't these cute? And then she put them back. I was just like, thank you. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Thank you. So I got them. They fit perfect. It's like they were made for me or something. So then the socks, there's 5 pairs. So I'm just like all jazzed. I got my 2 pajama pants and my 5 pairs of warm socks. I was so excited. And so I'm walking down another one, which, by the way, a dress caught my attention. It was really pretty fabric, and I picked it up and I was looking at it. I was like, oh, I really like it. And I decided I would try it on. And right next to it was another dress that I wouldn't have seen if this one wouldn't have caught my attention, which is a sexy, sexy little holiday dress that I really liked. I was like, oh man, I had just been thinking about, I want to go to a holiday party so bad, or a holiday, like a holiday where you get to dress up, you know? And in those kind of like, I don't know, there's something about the holiday parties and stuff. You get a little more dressed up. So anyways, I saw that dress, and so I thought, oh, I'm going to try this one on. And I would have never, you know, if I would have seen it, I don't know that I didn't even notice it. It was definitely the other one that drew my attention. So when I got it, and see, this is how they work. And this is what I'm saying about being aware while you're out. Like, they're giving you signs all the time to lead you in the direction of what you want. It's just we're not always paying attention. We're always distracted. We're thinking about other things. We're thinking about what we said yesterday. We're focusing on other things. It keeps us from not being present, from not noticing. And, you know, then you have to have someone pick it up. Hey, look at this. Look, right here. But anyway, so I see the dress, you know, I see the other one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And then tried it on. I was like, perfect. Those little gifts, see, that's when I know they're giving me gifts. Because it's something like I say it, then they're like, oh, here you go. And they give you the gifts. But you got to notice. You got to see, like, they're always giving you things. They're always there for you. When you're not feeling that, it is because you're focused in a more negative headspace. You're blocking it. You're blocking your own support, kind of. You're blocking your own, like, the less rocky path. Because a lot of times we choose the rockiest path. We think, hey, this is the way we want to go. This is what we want in our life. And then we start heading that direction. And everything in the universe is telling you, don't go there. Don't go there. Everything's falling apart. But we push on and push on. Up, we're going. You know, until everything has to collapse. But, you know, I'm in this place in my life now. It's like, read the signs. You know, are they directing you in that way? Or are you trying to push through and get to some place? Instead of just relaxing and riding the tide and feeling the current and going where they move you. Because when they're moving you, it's not a battle. It's not as rocky. They just glide you. A lot of it, though, with that is a lot more about faith and trust, like I was talking about. It's a lot more of just relaxing and trusting and being like, okay, this is where you're directing me, then I'm going to trust you. And it's hard. It's super hard when you haven't been trained that way. And to even do that, they would, you know, society would call you crazy. So, anyways, I got my socks and my pants and my little party dress now. It's so cute. And then I went, and I was going into the other sections, like 2 sections, you know, like they have the clothes section, and then they have another section where it's like furniture, household, and stuff like that. So like a whole, almost like another building, but it's in the same building. It's different. It's like another part. So I was going in there, and as I was going, there was these little like slipper things there. Like, so when you're going through the door, and on each side they had these big, really cool, like display kind of armoire things with all sorts of cute decorations and stuff. And like, they've got so much antiques. Like, I love antiques. I know a lot of younger people are into IKEA and shit like that, but I love antiques. And they have so many, so cool and cheap, really cheap. And so as I was going through this door, it was like stuck between the armoire and the door was these little shoe things. So as I was going past, I just grab them because it was like, those don't belong there. Like, weird. I grab them. I'm thinking, oh, you guys just put those there for me, didn't you? So I just put them in my cart, and I'm thinking, okay, well, there's a reason why they put these there for me. And I'm just assuming they're my size because they put them there like, hey, Kelly, you're not looking at these, but we want to give them to you because you're going to love them. So I grab them, I put them in my cart. And then I saw like they're $2 or $3, and they're size medium for a slipper shoe thing. So I was like, okay, will they fit? So I went, you know, and got them and everything, and then came home, and oh my God, I can't even believe how much I love them. I would have never even gone and tried them on or anything. I would have never even thought of them. And it seems kind of funny because like I've got a lot of little like slipper house shoe kind of shoes, you know, ones that would be around here, but then I just don't wear them. I don't know. But these are kind of more like a sock with a harder bottom, kind of like a knitted kind of shoe that's lined, but it has like a harder bottom. It kind of reminds me of these shoes that were popular in the 70s. And they had like if I was gonna make now I was crocheting these cabin socks, so you would take like a piece of like leather or something, and they must make little holes, and then you would sew your yarn, so you would have a sole, but the top part would all be like a sock, a warm sock, for however long you wanted it to be. Now I remember those like from the 70s, and they were really popular. Crocheting and stuff was really popular back then, macrame, all that kind of stuff. Like back before corporate world took over, people had skills and made a lot of stuff. Like, man, you go in the house in the 70s, like they had the plant hangers and stuff, but they made them. It wasn't like you were buying that stuff. There was people making it and making like these slipper socks and stuff. You know, it's very different. That's what people who are from this current society don't realize, how different. Even when I talk about the price differences, my daughter's like, things go up and stuff like that. But it's the extreme when you've lived through the whole thing, and you see how extreme. Like, how do you go from paying for 50 cents for something to paying $10? And the wages don't change. I mean, that's inflation. That's all corrupt corporation control. So, you know, the whole thing is all, you know, their Wall Street, their banks, it's all been to enslave us and control us. But I believe we're going back to more of that era of people making things and selling them. And, you know, it's not, we're moving out of this corporate world. The corporation is collapsing. This whole system that was this enterprise, this industrial complex that was created to control us, it's all collapsing. But it's because we are collapsing it. It's because we are waking up. We're waking up to our own power and seeing through this illusion of control. This illusion that they told us what was best for us when it was really the worst for us. That's been there, you know, modus operandi, or whatever the word is. Modus, you know what I'm saying? It's, I've heard it in the movies. That word, you know, it's the way they do things. It's how they work. So that is what, you know, they're going to keep doing if they could. But since we're all waking up and seeing, they can't do it with us watching. They can't, because it takes us to be asleep, not participating, not paying attention. That's the only way they can thrive, because when we're watching, we see what they're doing, and it's corrupt. It's all illegal. It's bullshit. You know, it's illegal because what's good for them is not good for us. We don't all, it's not the same fair playing game, you know. We're not all playing the same game. They dealt themselves the better hand and told us, hey, that's the only pieces you guys get. That's it. Fight over those pieces, because that's all you get. We're taking all the pieces. Gluttony of this greed, this world that they've created is just so out of balance. But it's going back into balance, because that's how things have to go cosmically. Like, we get caught up. It's hard, even for me, to not get caught up in this like illusion of how it just keeps going the same way day after day, to not feel like this is it. This is it. This is our future. Day after day, after day, after day, the same damn thing. But it really is. It really is collapsing. And it really is all. There's this huge cosmic shift occurring. And it is, you know, it has to occur. Things can't just always go the same way. Things have to change. That's how nature works. And AI, you know, they want to hurry and get everybody in their virtual room before nature takes over. And nature's shaking things up. Even though with them, they're battling with their technology, with their weather control and stuff. Like, I don't know in other places what you have out there for the sun. Over here where I'm at, no. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. Not since summertime. If it has been around, it's been like a one-time thing or something. It hasn't been around. I don't know where they've put it. I know I was talking to somebody else in Australia, and they said, yeah, we have the sun. I said, you can look at it? Like, you can actually look at it? And they said, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not there. But, yeah, the sun you can actually look at. This thing that they've got going over here, you can't look at it. It'll burn your eyeballs off. It burns them. Like, it really burns them. Way different than with the sun. I did sun gazing over the summer. And you can stare at it. I remember when we were kids, and they told us, you can't look at the sun, it will burn your eyes. And then we all did, you know, and it makes you not be able to see for a while. But then this whole thing about sun gazing and stuff, and you do start seeing like crazy colors and stuff. Like, I don't know what everybody else gets, but you start seeing like movement and color, and but you don't get that with that other thing. That other thing is just an intense, bright light. Like, I don't know, it's weird. And then plus whatever's going on with the sky and the clouds and stuff, I don't know. I don't know what's going on everywhere else. I just know here. And we have the freaking plane, military, whatever going on above us all the time. I just don't know. But I know it's not going to stay going like this forever. Some shifts are happening. Things are happening. Even if, and it's just something that you just got to, part of the trust, you know? To know things are happening, to know that the future is going to be good for humanity. And yeah, there's going to be people who die, but it's not because they weren't meant to die. It's because they were meant to die. They were meant to transition. And that doesn't mean they're gone forever. That means they're transitioning probably to where we are all headed. Because most of the people who are involved in this, it's because this is so exciting. We're going into a new age, like such a new age, such a new divine time for humanity. So it's super exciting, and the souls that are involved right now are helping people wake up. They're dying to wake their family members up. Like, it's a whole thing. It's very intricate. It's so threaded together and so intricate what's going on. And even if you don't see things going on, it still is just trust and have faith and know where we're headed. Keep in mind, you know, picture what you want. What is your best? What is the thing that would give you your best life? Just stay focused on that. Stay focused on what your desires are and your dreams. Focus on your own talents. Think about, you know, I mean, you could really make it now with a business. Small businesses will really be able to thrive. What kind of small business would you like to have? You know, what do you have to offer? What do you see in your community? What do you want to have your community be like? What role do you want to play in your community? You know, what do you want your education to be like for your kids? Like, these are all the things that we are going to transform as beings on this planet that are taking control of it. And, you know, so when you focus on what it is that you want, then that stuff will come to you. And it's the same thing as what I'm talking about with the manifestation. I don't have to, like, these people who are like, well, I'm going to manifest, you know, this. It just seems like a lot of people manifest on money. And yeah, you know, Jim Carrey wrote himself a check and stuff like that. But I really believe he knew in his heart the check. I mean, he knew that check would be good when he wrote it in his own soul. Like, so he did it, because there's lots of people who can write it and they can feel like this isn't going to go anywhere. I'm not going to really have $5 million. Is that coming from your own doubt of yourself, or is it coming from your inner knowing? Because I believe it has a lot to do with your inner knowing. And I think that the challenge is not to just be like, well, world out there, I want you to deliver me this much money because this is how much money I know I need, and so give me this much money. Instead, it is about, you know, give me security. You know, make sure my things are paid. Make sure I always have food. Make sure I always have shelter. You know, make sure you always have the things that you need. And then you'll find out you do. You always have to find the things you need. And when you don't, it's because you need to learn a lesson about that. Like, just like with him, with the $10 million check. And he even talked about it. Like, it taught him a lot. That was part of his lessons. It wasn't just like, oh, this guy's lucky. You know, he just wrote himself a check and then he got the money. No, it was because it was part of his lessons. It was part of his destiny. His inner calling, his inner knowing told him, you know, yeah, you can write that check because you're going to have it. And this is what you're... Even I saw him in an interview. I think it's on... Oh, it is. It's on that Jim and Andy show where it shows him, and it shows a bunch of interviews about the money thing. But one of them, he's really young, and it was like, all of a sudden, it was like an epiphany while he's talking. He was... and one day when I'm walking down the street, and I can't walk down the street anymore because everybody recognizes me. It's like he manifested that right into his own reality. And he knew it was coming. Like, you could see it, the look on his face. When it was all of a sudden like, ooh, there's like a dark side of that too. That's not all like perfect. You're so famous you can't walk down the street. But it is your inner knowing that tells you where you need to be, where you need to do, and where you need to go. And what is yours? You have an inner knowing, and that is what I believe. You know, that it isn't just about writing checks and thinking that the money's going to be deposited into your account. It's like missing the point of manifestation, because manifestation is about knowing what is yours. And like in that case of all that money, he had huge lessons that he even talks about. You know, I wish everybody could go in and get rich and famous so they could see what life is all about. Because you see, that won't make you happy. Happiness doesn't come from money and from owning things and stuff. That's not what makes you happy. And, you know, that was part of his experience, part of what he was there to share and to grow and learn from. We all have things that we are learning and growing from, and that we can share that with each other. But we have to be also open to that information. I mean, he could have gone and spoke to 100 people about that. I still bet 99 of them would have gone up and been like, yeah, I want to be rich and famous. I don't care. They would not think like, how do I go out and find joy? How do I go out and find happiness? How do I find peace? Where is peace of mind? If it's not in my pocketbook, where is it? You know, and that is part of the journey. And I think it's significant, but, you know, I was around money all the time when I was a kid, and I knew money didn't buy anything. I knew there was greedy people who were around who, you know, pervy people with money, and I didn't see money being associated with joy, happiness, or anything. It can be associated with power, but it also distorts it, makes it dirty, you know? Power that is associated with money and greed is dirty. So it isn't really power. It becomes a negative entity of its own. So anyways, But to me, like, the manifesting is like putting out there what it is you need, like security, putting out there what it is you love and stuff. Like, they're bringing me these little slipper sock things, you know, $2 or $3 thing that they just had like hanging up like right in my face as I'm walking by. I'm like, okay, I heard ya, and put it in. And, you know, I could have been like, I wouldn't wear these things are stupid. But I was like, okay, I'm listening, I'm gonna try them. I was like, hell yeah, you guys. You guys know me better than I know myself. That is somebody who I do believe knows me better than nobody I would say that about except for my higher self. I would say they know me better than I know myself. They know my next move. They know what I'm going to do tomorrow. You know, they've already seen it. I'm just playing it out. I'm just the little chess piece. They're moving around the board. So, anyways, just be open when you're going out. Be present. That's what I was talking about yesterday. Be present. And when you are, you start noticing these little gifts are dangling around you, the person holding up what you want, you know, and find peace in that. Don't go, oh, she's going to get it. Now, like, oh, they're showing me. Okay, she's going to set that down. That's mine. They wouldn't have shown me if I wasn't. You know, get into that way of thinking about this universe or your energy, or I don't know. It's so hard to say because people see it in different ways. I see it as the energetic force that surrounds me, is there for me, that they get excited for me to get excited. They get excited for me to have gratitude and be excited when they give me little gifts like that. The most simplest gift can make you feel so cared about. Oh, and you know what I was thinking about too with my little party dress? I was thinking about the perfect date. Speaking of perfect things, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know what I think the perfect date would be? Is go to someone's house and they make you dinner, and then go outside and in a blanket, maybe like when it's cold like this, maybe with cocoa or something, and lay out there and look up at the sky and watch the sky for a while. And then I think go in and do some slow dancing, and I think that is kind of like the perfect kind of date, you know? I don't know where these people get these perfect dates, like, you know, to go to the fanciest restaurant. There's a lot of girls who think like, well, if they go and do this and spend a lot of money on me, then that means that they really like me. But I don't think that. I think it's about time. I think that is about where we need to get our priorities straight. It's about time. It's about what we're willing to give. And time is what's valuable, really. Money, we're about to find out how really no value it has whatsoever. It is just a piece of paper that we all struggle to have, that we will fight over. We will work our fingers to the bone for this piece of paper so that we can run to other stores and shake our piece of paper. Ah, I've got paper to spend. I don't know. But we are in a transition and the world is changing and it is going for exciting times. So, you know, focus on what your perfect times are. What's your perfect house? What's your perfect life? What's your perfect date? What's your perfect everything? Because that is where we focus on what we want and what we love. That's what comes to us. And we have to trust and have faith. And that's what, you know, and every day it is a struggle, but that's the challenge. That is how you keep yourself directed. That's how you find balance, you know. The challenge is what helps us to, like, when you go learn to drive, you're not going to just drive down the same damn street, right? You're going to have to learn how to get on the freeway. You're going to have to learn how to merge with traffic and all that. And that's basically what it is like. You know, you got to have the challenges because it is what helps you to be a better driver. So anyways, have a great day, and I'm going to get back to making my hats. I've got my whole hat station back there. I've got a whole bunch going, and then I've got my whole thing with my socks going. I'm excited about. It's so fun to make something for somebody and know it's special, especially when I'm getting the yarn from the other grandma with the alpacas. And she's got a little alpaca farm, and I'm getting her yarn. I don't know, it just seems really special, keepsake kind of thing. So Anyways, I will be back tomorrow and talk about something. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.